Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have somebody special here with me. It's my cousin Cade. Now, he is a like he's a newer player to Scout. I obviously have like 4,000 hours. Uh yeah. I don't have anything better to do with my time. But anyway, hold on. Let me turn this mic down real quick. It could probably use turning down right now. Okay. I have two. I have an. Okay. I'm gonna have to remove that. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, that's better. Alright. So, we're gonna be doing a scout tier list from a really experienced player that knows what he's doing to um
A player only has like a few hours in Scout.
yeah, that's going to be the premise of this video because I've seen other people do it and I thought that it looked kind of interesting. So, okay. So, let's start with melee. Okay. So, I don't really see people using the stock bat much, but I think since it does reliable damage, I'd put it at like A. Just because it's stock, it does reliable damage, and it's
The
really not that
reskin.
bad.
Yeah, and also the reskin of it.
Well, yeah, but we're not doing reskins.
Yeah. That's the point of. But we're just doing regular skins, just not reskins.
Okay.
But but to be honest, the reskin of the bat is kind of OP. But even though it's just the same thing.
So, the Rap Assassin, I'd have to put the Rap Assassin at A tier as well. The reason why I'm putting the Rap Assassin at A tier is because if you're good at aiming with it, you can do good bleed damage with the Cleaver. So, if you mix this with the Cleaver, you can do really good damage, go in, get a meat shot, boom, they're dead. Unless, of course, they're a heavy, then they might not die. But that is a really good combo to use. But we'll get into some reasons why you really shouldn't do any other secondary besides the pistol. But we'll talk about that in a second. Okay. So, the atomizer, sorry, but I'm putting it at C. The atomizer gives you a third jump, but most of the time they can predict that you're going to use that third jump if you have the bat out. Because it's just so predictable now. Like, scouts are going to use that to try and give them an advantage, but really, it doesn't really give them an advantage.
Now if you think about it, I should stop using the atomizer.
Yeah. So basically, hold on.
And the atomizer.
I'll talk about the Sandman in a second. But the atomizer doesn't even do good damage to keep up with most of the bats. So that's going to be put at C tier. The candy cane. Oh god, the candy cane is so situational. D. Okay, so let's see. It it does somewhat damage, but here, I never use it. It does somewhat good damage, but it's super situational. If you're usually players will use the candy cane if they're fighting pyros and they get a health pack after they kill the pyro. That's super situational because that's not going to help you anywhere else because like if you're trying to melee a soldier, then really what are you doing? You're gonna die. Uh, Demo Man is probably the same thing. If they pull out their melee too, you're dead, because we all know that Demo Man's melee is absolutely ridiculous. Um, let's see who else. Like, you know, it's really not even a good weapon to use. You know, if you're fighting against pyros, sure, equip it for a few minutes, but definitely don't use this all the time. Now,
Well,
we got the
he does have
Boston. We got the Boston boy, alright? The
the
Boston
Boston.
Basher. Yep,
He's S tier. He
S
is the
tier.
godly one.
S tier. Now, don't don't get me wrong. It has some things that might put you at a disadvantage, but overall, it's really good. You see a lot of competitive scouts using this, and I think personally it's awesome. You can use you can use the melee to make them bleed, get a meat shot on them, hit them with a few pistol shots or a cleaver, and then
Yeah.
just go in there and whack them with the Boston Basher,
And then
you know?
run away.
Yeah, they'll they'll
He'll
bleed
bleed
and
to
then
death.
they'll die. Um, so that's a good weapon to use. The Sun on a
So
Stick. The Sun on a Stick is going to
yeah,
D
yeah,
tier,
yeah.
because just like the candy cane, it whenever it's good is super situational. You have to find a player that's on fire and hit him with it. And it does a crit, yeah, but if a pyro is setting somebody on fire, they're probably going to die before you even hit them with the Sun on a Stick. So, it might be good to have 100% crits on burning players, but most of the time, you don't even hit them before they die of afterburn. Also, it doesn't do good damage. So even if you were to get a crit, it probably wouldn't do much damage.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Fana War. The Fana War, I'm gonna put at A tier, because mini
I'm gonna
crits,
really use this weapon.
mini crits can actually be really good. Because if you hit somebody with the Fana War and then get a meat shot on them, that does a lot of damage. It does somewhere around 130 or so. I can't remember. But it does really good damage if you combine it with the scattergun and you hit somebody and then you meat shot them. Because Scout is already supposed to be on the front lines. So, um, you know, it it wouldn't he's supposed to be in the front lines. He's supposed to be up close with people. So that is why it's going there, is because you can just whack him with it, get a mini crit. Be careful though. Don't get yourself killed while you're running towards them with a
Yeah,
Fana
yeah.
War.
Like if you're fighting against the pyros, that don't
Yeah. Don't
just
be
be
dumb.
careful.
Don't be dumb.
Yeah, don't be dumb and run into the flames straight on.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the Sandman. The Sandman, originally, whenever I thought of this, because people were doing it back then too. Whenever the Sandman could stun
And the Cleaver.
people, whenever the Sandman was able to stun people, back before, I think it was Jungle Inferno. It might have been earlier than that, but um, so I'd have to put the Sandman now at B tier. Like
So yeah, first
it's
B tier.
good. It's good. You can hit a ball on him, it'll slow him down. It'll do some damage. and it'll make it easier for you to hit your shots. But
But
I don't, yeah, I don't really know how much that would really help you. Like the stun mechanic back then was really powerful, and I would put that at
yeah,
I would put that at A to S tier
even
if
though
it was reverted.
I agree with you about the stun mechanic. Even though I played TF2 when as soon as the Jungle Inferno came out.
Yeah, a bunch of people did, but
Yeah, but I still saw people using the stun mechanic before the Jungle Inferno. Now it's just boring. Like the stun mechanic is not even real anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just boring to use it now.
Okay,
If they
so
would
on to secondaries. Let's see.
secondary, so stock pistol.
Okay, so first we're gonna go with the pistols. There's
Okay,
there's
so first off, the
categories.
stock
There's
pistol.
throwable stuff, drinkable stuff, and then pistols. That's all that. Okay, so we're gonna start off with a pistol. Stock pistol. Okay, first, let's just be clear here. Stock pistol, really
Yeah.
reliable, does good damage. There's that.
Mm-hmm.
You always want to use the pistol. Don't use any other
Yeah. Always
secondary
use the pistol.
unless you have practice with it. If you have practice with another secondary and you know how to use it well, sure, go for that. But for most players, I'd say use the pistol unless you know how to
I
use another
I
secondary
use the pistol.
reliably.
Yeah, I use the pistol, and I mean like it's really good.
Yeah, you can do chip damage from a faraway place and it still does about 8 damage. If you're up close, it does about 15 damage, 13 damage, something like that. I don't
Kind of
I
like
don't
the
check
scatter gun,
much.
far away from medium range to close up range.
Yeah,
But let's get to that later.
yeah. So, Pretty Boy's pocket
Meter the
pistol,
yeah,
it
it's
I I'm going to put it at B tier.
I
It
never really use this weapon, so I
Yeah,
don't
I
even
don't
know how to
either.
rate it.
So, um it's a good weapon. It's really good, you know. Well, not really good, but it gives you it's like the Blitzsager. It gives you
Yeah,
like about
yeah.
5
Every time when you hit a shot, it gives you 3 HP back.
3 HP, wasn't it 5?
I don't remember because I never really
I
used it.
remember that it was like 15
Wait. Just for an experiment, let
a
me go
long
check.
time ago. It was plus 15 health a long time ago. But
Don't mind that. I'm just gonna try to do
I think it
something.
went down to like 5 and then I guess 3, yeah. Okay, so it it gives you some health on hit, but most of
I'm
the
just
time
checking how
that's
much
not
health.
gonna save
I'm just
you.
checking how much health it gives you.
A lot of the
My game could
time
flipping load.
a lot of the time weapons do more damage and you can't have the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol to keep up with the damage, so you're gonna die anyways. The best thing for you to do would just
It's
be to
been
run to a health pack.
it gives you 3 HP. I was right. It's
All
giving you
right.
3 HP.
So yeah, that is I guess you could use it, but just don't make it your primary thing to use.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
sometimes use the pistol because it's
So
good if you know how to use it.
so now on to the winger.
The
The
winger.
winger going to A tier.
Yep.
Okay.
Immediately take.
So, the reason why I'm putting the winger at A tier is because higher jumps are probably going to be more useful to you,
Yeah.
but that's not
Other
the
than
only thing.
the third jump from the automatizer. Well, we already got past that.
Yeah, Atomizer just gives you another jump, but
Yeah,
this
and they
one gives you higher jumps.
yeah,
And
it's like an additional jump with the automatizer, but much better.
but here's the real reason why I put it at A tier. The reason why I put the winger at A tier is because it does reliable damage. 15% damage increase on the winger. But it does shorten the clip a little,
Yeah,
which
like
is
5 bullets a clip.
which is fine. But you know, it's pretty good. It does reliable damage, and it gives you a mobility increase. So that's going to A tier. It's not as good as the pistol, but it's really good. So
Yeah.
now we're gonna go to the throwable stuff. Now,
Milk and the cleaver.
right off the bat, I'm gonna start with the milk. All right. And
Yeah.
here's why.
See.
The milk is pretty situational.
Yeah. Like when
You
you're.
can extinguish yourself, or
But
you can throw it at people and then get health from them. You know, this is a really good combo with the Fan of War. But there's no guarantees that you're going to be able to get into the enemy's melee range, you know? So it's not really a good combo to get used to. The Mad Milk, really situational. If you're burning, like if you're on fire, you extinguish yourself with it. Like there's no other time for you to use it on yourself or teammates. It's just whenever you're burning, you can extinguish yourself.
This is the set of countering pyros. The candy cane and the mad milk. Those are the two things you need to fight against the pyro. But they're
Yeah.
both situational.
Yeah,
You
they're
don't
like
really use them.
they're like anti-pyro kind of thing.
Yeah, but you don't use them as much. You only use them when you're on fire or kill someone.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Cleaver.
the Cleaver. Cleaver is going to B tier. B tier is because it you can throw it and it does reliable damage. Does reliable damage with the bleeding if you hit the target with it. And that's about it. Onto the Criticola. Bam. It gives
it sucks. Not actually.
it gives you many crits, but before you even get to finish the taunt, somebody's already there about to kill you unless you're behind a corner or something, or around a corner or whatever. So yeah, that's why I put it there. Okay, Bonk Atomic Punch. Going to the same place.
Yeah, it's same reason for the Criticola, but
No, hold on.
wait, it's not.
So, Pyros are really effective against this because they can air blast you into a corner, and
Once your atomic punch or whatever bonk atomic punch thing, whatever.
yeah, once your Bonk Atomic Punch runs out, because
they
friggin'
can just set you on fire.
yeah, they can air blast you into a corner, they can trap you into a corner, and then what are you gonna do? After your bonk runs out, you're gonna die.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a little bit good about it. If the pyro has low ammo and you're getting air blast, they can run out of ammo and they only have their secondary.
Yeah, but that doesn't really save you
because
because there's also gonna be other people as well. We're not only thinking about pyros, we're also gonna think about
like thinking
other
of soldiers,
players.
thinking of heavies, thinking of sentries.
If a pyro traps you, then his teammates can just finish you off if he runs out of ammo, or he could switch to his shotgun.
The sentry, if you're running to a sentry, it can just you can just shoot you into the corner, and then once your bonk runs out, you'll just die.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to primaries because we don't have much time left. I'm going to do a separate video where he tells what he thinks is best.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
primaries.
The stock scattergun. Immediately, S.
Yep, S tier.
Yep.
Because
Immediately.
it does reliable damage. And it has 6 shots. It has really good damage up close. It's just really good.
Yeah. But now we have the babyface blaster next.
All right. I'm not even gonna tell you why this is bad. Yes, I am. I have to tell you why this is bad.
It explains itself.
Yes, the freaking stats explain themselves, but I'm gonna explain it to you just in case, you're too lazy to look at the stats.
Yeah, like I
So, the Babyface's Blaster, on hit, gives you some more speed, some more running speed. But, if somebody just breathes on you, it's gone. So, that's why that's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next up is the that's not the backslasher, that's for pyro. Backslasher for pyro, I forgot what that's called.
Backscatter.
Backscatter. There we go.
The back burner is pyros. Back burner. Okay. The backscatter. I'm sorry. This is such a good weapon concept. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
But it's
don't mind it's
no.
D, it's
hold on.
so good.
Can I add an E so that I can put it down there? This weapon is just so bad. I'm sorry. You have to be behind the player to do even, like, some damage. And usually they'll find out what you're trying to do and not turn their back to you. They'll just shoot you and you're dead, So that is not a good thing to use. Soda Popper. I think you just left for a second. Anyway.
No, I didn't.
Soda Popper going to be B tier. Soda Popper is pretty good. The only bad thing is that it doesn't have any knockback. The knockback is just gone, Knockback doesn't really do like the knockback is pretty good on the Force of Nature. So Soda Popper is like an inferior Force of Nature.
Here's another bad thing about it. Ever since its nerf from the Jungle Inferno update, you used to like run around and get hype. So you can have like infinite hype. But now you have to shoot people to get hype.
Yeah, that was the good thing about the Soda Popper is before if it was still what it was, then I'd say that it would go to A or even maybe S tier because you could just run around and get hype, and then you have like 5 jumps. But anyway,
they had to change that.
Oh yeah, something with the Babyface's Blaster. This reminds me. Something with the Babyface's Blaster. If you double jump, then it takes away some of your boost. There. That's another reason why it's an S tier.
If you like the Babyface Blaster, you're dumb.
Well, I mean, it's just not that good. All right. So I'm gonna wait for the Force of Nature. I'm gonna do the short stop. Short stop.
Going to.
All right. Okay. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Oh.
Dear, it's
Okay. This thing is pretty good.
Yeah. The push mechanic.
The shove mechanic is kind of good.
Yeah.
But
It's
The reason
perfect
why I put
controlling,
it up
like
here,
teleporting
it
control.
has 4 shots. It does some pretty good damage, and it really doesn't give you that much of a downside. You know, just just some less ammo and stuff. So, the short stop is all right.
Yeah, and also the shove mechanic for the shortstop is it's perfect for trolling. Like even for the if you team up with an enemy engineer and they place a teleporter right next to the edge, you can just camp that teleport and just shove people off when they teleport.
Yeah. All right. So then there's the force of nature. Now I know people are going to be like, "Wait a second. That's not right." But all right.
Oh,
Here's why
yeah,
the force of nature is really good. It has knockback. It does really good damage up close,
yep,
which is
yep,
what
because
the
it has more pellets than the scattergun.
yeah. So a scout's supposed to be up close with his enemy, and he's supposed to get in close and shoot him. Okay? So the force of nature is really good for that, and it knocks him back. And then
Yeah,
you can just use your mobility to make up for all the space that you've put between y'all, and then just run up to them and then get another shot in on them, and they're dead.
but
So that's really good.
wait a minute. I I just recognize. I know this is. I know
All
you
right.
already recognized this, but
So
switch stop.
we are getting kind of low on time. So I think I'm going to call it here. Um, I will link the website that I am using in the description, and yeah, that is the Scout tier list,
Of
4K
a game.
hours. I
Your visit
have
game.
4K hours on Scout, and I just made a tier list. So I'll see y'all guys in the next video in probably like 10 minutes. I don't know.